I originally wasn't going to talk about this, but it's better to talk about it now than sometime later, and really address the situation. Article 13 has passed, and that's a terrifying chasm of possibilities because not even the EU YouTubers really know what this thing's going to do because it's incredibly vague. It's not written purposefully. There's so little clear information about what's going to happen. But I'm fairly certain that the worst case scenario will not happen. And I say that because the worst case scenario is this thing just completely kills the age of communication. The internet becomes sterile for nothing but business, and no one pays for it anymore. Internet service providers go out of business. Internet-based businesses go out of business. Millions of people lose their livelihoods. Millions of businesses liquidate their assets and completely just fall off the face of the earth, and the age of communication dies. I am almost 100% sure that that will not happen. Because think about it like this. All of these businesses that are based in the internet, and that includes internet service providers, that includes Verizon, that includes AT&T, that includes Comcast, that includes Time Warner, and all of the businesses that are based on the internet, Google, Microsoft, Apple, saying that Microsoft and Apple draw most of their income from the internet. I already said Google. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever place hosts esports, whatever place hosts these speedrunning events, whatever places run these charities with all this gamer stuff. Those businesses are not going to sit by and let some law that was passed in some other country, in some other continent, for some other country's sakes. They're not going to let some law from them just to completely destroy their business like it has the possibility to. Because I know this is probably, oh, you don't say, Blight, but businesses love money. That's just, businesses need to make their money. And with this law in effect, these businesses are going to notice, hey, this is taking so much away from us. We're gotta fight this back. And not only that, but the people of the internet will rally against this, like they did rally against that net neutrality thing that happened. That actually got passed, but we overturned it. So for that alone is making me pretty certain. That thought alone is making me pretty certain that the worst case scenario just flat out will not happen. The internet is going to be fine. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all these sites that you use, you will continue to be able to use them to more than likely the fullest extent of what we've been able to use them. The internet service providers are not going to just drop off the face of the map and say, hey, no more internet because we can't make money off of it anymore because no one's buying it because the internet is exclusively a sterile business place now. That's not going to happen. I'm fairly certain. Because, again, business is business. And when they see that this one stupid, pointless, heinous, greedy law is drawing so much income away from their business, they're going to do their damnedest. They're going to put all of their money to make sure that that gets overturned. And we, the people of the internet, have the strength and the willpower to make sure that this thing gets overturned as quickly as the businesses want to. Because they can see that we need each other. We, the people of the internet, need the businesses. We need YouTube, we need Twitter, we need Twitch to host our content. We are the people. We come together, this is our home, and they house us. And the businesses need us to make their content. We provide for them what makes their sites worth having the internet for at all. We need each other because we make them money, and they make us money when we manage to, carve out our honest livings on these sites. The people that actually manage to draw income from what they do, from the passions that fuel them, that make the internet such a great place to begin with. Together, we, as the people of the internet, can clearly see that we, the people, and the businesses, and the Googles, and the internet service providers, we all clearly see that this backwards thinking, stuck 60 years in the past law is only going to hurt the people of the internet and the businesses that thrive off of it. So that's why I'm certain the worst case scenario just flat out is not going to happen. Because we will fight this. There were already riots in Europe over this, last year, months into last year. Just people knowing about this, being just passionately going against this. And I fully am don't use violence to solve your problems. That's not good. That's never good. But it shows that the people signing this into law just aren't thinking. They don't understand what bad this will do for the world, what only bad this will do for the world, giving what however much amount of power more to copyright holders when they already had too much power to begin with. None of this makes sense. So the way I see it, there are a couple of possibilities, since I'm certain. I know within my heart, I believe that the people and the businesses that make up this crazy world we've built together, they're going to just sit back and let this all die. They're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So the way I see it, there are a couple possibilities of how this can turn out. We as the people, the businesses that host us, the businesses that we are able to access this world we've created together, all of us together will see, before any of this starts, see how much profit that the businesses will lose because of this law. We will see how many lives will be ruined from this, how many people's jobs will be lost from this, and we will bring that to them as sensible people. I don't know if anyone there who actually voted on this can be conceived in any way as quote unquote sensible, but hopefully with any modicum, I don't know if that's the right word, or even if that is a word, any modicum of whatever of human decency within their backwards thinking ways will say, hey, yeah, this is doing so much worse for all of these businesses and all of these jobs. This has the potential to destroy millions and millions of jobs, leave millions of good people without income, to just dismantle millions of jobs so that a handful of copyright holders will have more power over their copyrights when they already have too much power to begin with? I don't know. Human decency needs to come in at some point and say, hey, no, this is bad, and you need to understand that this is bad. So at that point, hopefully all of the countries can just come together on this one thing. All of the beautiful people that make up this beautiful internet that we've created together, and make them see that this is just bad, and we can get this bill overturned. We can get this law just wiped off the table, completely wiped clean, overturned, rebuked, whatever you want to call it, just thrown out. No more Article 13, no more of this more power to the copyright holders crap. Another way it could go is, say it's not as bad as we initially thought it was going to be. Say the copyright systems on YouTube just get a bit worse. And I know that's already... that the copyright systems on YouTube are just absolutely abysmal. We already know that. But say the worst thing that happens is they just get a bit worse, and it just gets a bit more of a struggle to work with. But it doesn't have to. Think about it like this. Nintendo recently realized that being so draconic about their copyright policies is only hurting their business. I've seen it happen. I had so many copyright notices from Nintendo exclusively, on so many of my videos. Not too long ago, a couple months ago, all of those notices were completely removed. Nintendo doesn't want to be so draconic about their copyrights anymore because they know that this whole YouTube and Twitch and Twitter thing, all these fans coming together to show their love for these series that they put out, is only benefiting their business. It drives sales. It brings more people into it. And honestly, Nintendo's another example of how these businesses aren't going to stand by and let this beautiful age of communication just come tumbling down. Because Nintendo now knows that it's the people who are showing their love for their intellectual properties, for the copyrights that they hold. It's us that's bringing so much money in for them. And I'm certain that if Nintendo probably even knows about this, they're going to say, hey, no, let the fans do what they will, because the fans are bringing in so much money for us. I'm certain that they're going to do something about that. So in that situation, it's really up to the copyright holders to not be so abysmal about it, you know? It's up to these individual businesses to say, hey, we understand that the people of the internet are only driving up, exposure for our brand, are only exposing people to say, hey, come buy this. It's up to them to do that and benefit from it, that we, of the people, are allowing them to benefit from it. It's a give and take that is honestly amazing in this day and age. Because when a business and the individuals can work together to come to an understanding of, hey, I'm just going to do what I love, and it will affect you positively. It'll drive more people to purchase from you. And given from advertising and stuff, I'll be able to make a living off of driving sales for you. And the business people be like, okay, we understand that you love doing this, and you're only showing your love and appreciation for what we do. So we're going to allow you to do that. We might just take a bit of that income though, because hey, it's our intellectual property. But don't worry, we're not going to drive you into the ground. We're not going to destroy your livelihood or anything. We're going to make sure that you have the benefit to do what you're doing for a living, while still overall benefiting from what you're doing. This will be a partnership. That's what a partnership should be. You benefit me, I benefit you. And going into that, it's another thing I was talking about business. How business is not going to sit by for this law. It's just impossible to think that business-minded people will be like, okay, this new law is going to destroy so much of my income. I will let it. That's not how people think. So yeah, that's what I see coming out of this. And sure, there might be some mid-ground where maybe our European people, maybe they get the worst of it. Maybe they get it bad to a point where Europe itself sees that so many of these people are just uprooting their lives and moving away, or I don't know, taking less than legal tactics to overturn these horrible things that have happened to their lives. It's only going to be a plague upon Europe if Europe is really where this hits the hardest. eventually they're going to see that this is a mistake, and I fully believe that. Because people aren't this dense. I mean, sure, it's easy to say that, yes, people just are this dense. But I don't believe that. I do not believe that people can be so misunderstanding about life, about existence, about how business and the individuals drive one another. It just doesn't make sense to me. Originally, I wasn't going to talk so much about that, but it's something that it's how I believe it's going to work out. But really what I want to talk about is what's going to happen to this channel. I'm not stopping. I don't care. Unless the worst case scenario comes to it, where YouTube, in seeing that they don't have the safety of legality to host my content anymore, unless Twitter does the same, so they don't have the safety to host my content anymore, to host anyone's content anymore, unless it comes to that, I will never stop posting. I will never stop making my art. I will never stop making my videos. Because I do this because I love it. I have fun with this. This brings me joy. And yeah, I understand. The worry is more with the people that have already made their living off of this. And honestly, again, I don't think the businesses of the internet are going to just sit by and let their partners, the people that they work with, lose their livelihoods. I don't believe that these businesses will just let their people... I don't believe that these businesses will just go out of business. Just let themselves go out of business. That's not how business works. I never once thought of myself as banking on this YouTube thing to fully pan out, you know? It's not a matter of I was always under the impression of, oh, this isn't going to be a big thing. I always have that hope that maybe in the future I will be big enough to do this for a living. I'll be big enough to do my videos and my art, and in the future hopefully stream and do it for a living. But I never banked on that. I've had it in my mind for a while now that I want to get some kind of education and have some kind of modest desk job, maybe be an accountant, something I can do for a living, at least until, well, quote unquote, until it may never pan out. I don't know. I can't see the future. At least until hopefully this thing takes off and I can do my videos and my art and streaming for a living and just have fun in the modest, honest living that I'd make out of it. And if I can do that, then I'll be incredibly happy. I will live a happy, comfortable life. And that's all I really want. But even if it comes to a point where just the copyright systems just get bad enough where I'm not able to make a living out of this, then I'll still do it. I will just continue to do it because I love it. So, literally that's all I wanted to say. Unless it comes to the worst case scenario where people aren't able to post anymore, to save the businesses what little legal protection they can get after this, unless it comes to that, which I am absolutely certain it will not, then I'll keep posting. I will keep making my art. I will keep making my videos. I will stream in the future. I will continue. And again, maybe I won't be able to make a living out of this. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop anytime soon. Possibly ever. So, that's all I wanted to say. As for this channel, nothing's going to happen. And we'll see what happens in the future. I fully believe that we can overturn this, because we have the power and the will and the right to fight this. because this is unjust. This is inhuman. This is just completely not thinking about the common people. This is completely... It's so backwards thinking. I completely don't understand what thought this is coming from. It's baffling to me. But I'm not going to go into that. I already rambled too much about that on a previous recording I made. That it was just a stutter. It was just a rambling mess that had no direction. This one is actually a good recording, and I'm glad that I could get my thoughts out concisely without just rambling about the fear of the future. I will not fear the future. I will not fear that this beautiful age of communication that we have together will just fall apart, because it will not. We won't let it. Anyway, that's really all I had to say for now. Good night, and I hope you have a better tomorrow. I hope the whole world has a better tomorrow.